It has been a long week and the news can get very heavy, but this morning I want to talk about representation in a very big way and why it matters, and introduce you to a special, special young woman, a trailblazer and our hero of the day. This beautiful young girl is Mia. She is a 10-year-old model and actress. She likes French fries, playing with her puppy, surfing at the beach, and one day she'd like to skydive. She also happens to have Down syndrome. Mia calls it her superpower, and now she is changing the way the world sees her and all kids with intellectual disabilities. Joining us now to discuss Mia Armstrong and her mom, Cara. Mia, I am so glad you are here with us this morning and waking up very early LA time. Tell us what you like about being a model.
I like being a model because I want to meet new people.
I love that. Meeting new people is awesome. Cara, young Mia is setting an example for other kids to look up to. What has this whole experience been like? How did you end up in this scenario?
Oh, Stephanie, first of all, I just want to thank you for your amazing work in the disability community and for shining a light on the wonderful abilities that differently able people have. When Mia was 3, we were lucky enough to meet a trailblazer in the area of media access. Her name was Gail Williamson, and she told me a story that really resonated with me that I've never forgotten. In the late 80s, there was a show that you may or may not remember called Life Goes On with an actor named Chris Burke, and he was really the first recurring role of a person with Down syndrome. He was on this show called Life Goes On. And she told me that when she would go to a restaurant with her son, Blair, often waitresses wouldn't even acknowledge his presence. But during this show, as the show rolled out, she noticed a change in the way that Blair was treated. So whereas before a waitress would ask her what he wanted for lunch or dinner, now they were turning to him and looking him in the eye and asking him what he wanted. And that story was so powerful to me. It just deeply resonated. And I said, let's make ourselves available if we're supposed to be in the public eye. And if we can affect the change in the lives of little children that have Down syndrome or anybody that has Down syndrome just by virtue of being seen, as visibility is the first step to acceptance, then let's give it a shot. So we did, and we've never looked back.
But to that point, Cara, you're not just providing inspiration for kids around the world who have intellectual disabilities. Can you talk to us about why representation is so important for all of us? Because as a society, as a culture, we tend to decide what's normal and what's not normal. And we need to understand.
That's right. Normalizing disability is so important, and having an inclusive society is so important. That's why we've made the choice for Mia to be fully included in her classroom. And really, it's so powerful, not just for Mia to be included with her typical peers, but also it's important for those children to be exposed early on in life to somebody with a disability, because it impacts the way that they will behave later on in life when they meet somebody that's differently abled or has an intellectual disability. So setting that path early is really important.
Cara, we don't talk about people with intellectual disabilities as much as we should. How much progress do we still need to make?
We have so far to go, Stephanie, but each little incremental step is powerful, and the world has changed one heart, one mind, and one conversation at a time. So as important as it is for people to be seen in media and commercials, and for legacy brands to show the faces of people that are different, it's equally as important to have that conversation in a coffee shop, or to look at the child that may be staring at me at Target and just to draw them in and say, do you have questions? Let us answer questions. And all of a sudden that interaction changes a heart. So we change hearts and minds one interaction at a time.
You certainly are filling mine. Mia, you're only 10 years old and you're already a model. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a doctor and help people.
Wow. What kind of doctor? Do you want to help kids or grown-ups? Maybe you could be a vet. I know you have a puppy.
I want to be a dentist.
A dentist? You know, that would be
Yes.
great for models because you could perfect everyone's smile. Mia, if there was one thing you could say to kids out there, right? You're on television right now. What would you like to say to America?
I would like to say you have to treat people nicely.
That we should treat people nicely? We absolutely should. Mia, it's great to meet you. I also have to ask, Mia, what's the name of your dog?
She's really cute. Mudgy Blue is her name.
Well, next time he comes on, I hope you bring him. Mia and Kara, thank you both so much for joining us this morning. We're going to be back. I hope meeting those two brightens your day. It certainly did mine.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you.